Hello, Professor and class. My name is Aaliyah. I chose to do my research on concealed weapon carry and gun control, two very controversial subjects that are currently flooding our news headline. Our government believes that we should implement gun control, which is regulating the gun usage in American citizens or citizens of any country. I believe concealed carry weapons shouldn't be mandatory for 3 reasons. It can decrease public massacre rates, it can deter crime and gives us that ability for self-defense, and it could be our alternative to gun control. Some ways that it can help us in self-defense is it gives a person, the concealed weapon carry owner, the ability to help somebody in a time of distress. If you go to school or you go to a concert or you go to an auditorium, you have that peace of mind that there is somebody in there that has a concealed weapon carry and can prevent that crime from occurring and that situation from escalating. It really gives you that peace of mind, that safety that you can go in there. It is unfortunate that we've had a lot of current public massacres happen because of guns, and we're blaming the guns, and it's not the guns. Guns don't kill people, people kill people. There are currently 16 million concealed weapon carry license permits issued, and 1 million of those alone are in Florida. Concealed weapon carry can prevent that crime from escalating. People these days are so afraid to go into a public building or a public event because there are so many heinous crimes for no reason. And the first thing to blame would be the weapon of choice, but it's not the weapon, it's the person. A current headline that was issued that goes along with my subject would be the mass shooting that happened at our very own landing. That crime happened because that gentleman didn't win the game, and that is very unfortunate, and it should not have been something that occurred. I believe we do need to have better security in public events. Our first responders are very busy, and we have a lot of people who take advantage of that situation, which is very unfortunate because they put their lives on the line every day to make sure that all of our citizens are protected. And one day, that person who just did that crime, they're going to expect that first responder, that police officer, to be there when they're in a heated situation. I believe that if you go through that training and you have that certification and you have that background knowledge of your weapon and the background check has been completed and you've passed all steps to carry your concealed weapon, you should have every right to carry on your side or on your back, wherever you choose to carry your weapon. As far as self-defense goes, you want to be able to have that security, you want to have that ability to protect your friends, your families, and even yourself. We can't always rely on our first responders. They can't be on every corner of the street every single day. There are more criminals and more people with guns probably than there are first responders within our districts. There are 16 million guns, so we can probably do the math and figure out that guns are definitely going to overrule everybody. People tend to look the other way when guns are involved, so it goes back to public massacres. If something is getting ready to occur and you have those people with concealed weapon carries, if there's more concealed weapon carry owners than there is that person who's about to shoot up the auditorium, there's a chance where that person can second guess that because they know that it's not going to be a good situation for them in the end. How can it be the alternative to gun control? Because they're two very controversial subjects. They don't go together whatsoever. You have something that wants to take guns completely away, and then you have something that wants to keep them in the concealed carry. I believe that the background checks do have flaws. I don't believe that we should take guns necessarily away from people completely. I think that we should have more regulations on selling assault rifles and shotguns, and I don't believe you should have them if you're not using them for recreational sports. There's no reason to own several firearms of that nature because you're not going to conceal an assault rifle. It's not something you can carry on yourself and not anybody know that it's there. If we implement gun control, we have very many uneasy citizens. They don't feel they have that ability to keep themselves safe anymore, or their families or their friends. The Second Amendment gave us the right to bear arms. It was written time and time ago, and yes, we have a whole new generation of people. However, we still have that right to bear arms. And as long as citizens or criminals or felons or however you want to put that person or give that person a title, there's always going to be guns. And as long as they continue to abuse that ability, we're going to have the government constantly pushing back at us while we're trying to implement something that could potentially keep us safe. Concealed weapon carry, in my opinion, is a pro. I have several people that I know that are concealed weapons carriers, and I myself am a concealed weapon carrier, and there's been situations where I'm glad that I do have my weapon. It's unfortunate that we have to walk down the street or we have to walk into Walmart and be scared of that. We shouldn't have to be scared in a public environment because there's somebody that could potentially walk in and open fire. I'm sure that there are several concealed weapon carry owners who have been in a situation where they've almost had to pull their weapon. And I'm sure there are many citizens who aren't concealed weapon carry owners that are now concealed weapon carry owners because of a situation that they were in. So I definitely believe that we shouldn't implement gun control and take away guns completely, because what is that going to solve? It's not going to solve anything because there's always going to be guns. It's never going to change guns being sold. I believe that concealed weapon carry can keep us safe. It can decrease crime. It can deter crime because people are going to go the opposite way. They don't want to be in that heated situation. Many innocent lives are being lost. Many children and many teens are getting tangled up in things that are causing these heinous crimes, and we have death of our kids and our children and our teens because of them. But it's not the guns that we should blame. It's the people who are tangling our people into it. So I think that before you or our government tries to say that guns are the worst thing possible, definitely think about all the pros and how they vary out with the cons, and make your decision whether or not gun control should be implemented, or we should continue to have that right to conceal carry and keep ourselves safe and give ourselves that peace of mind that we can bear arms ourselves.